What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the HighExistence podcast. My name is Eric Brown. I'm the current director here at HighExistence and our sub-organization Apotheosis Retreats. We've been quiet here for some time. We've been going through a monumental shift internally, figuring out where we want to go, who we want to be, how we want to serve in the world, and what we are uniquely positioned to do. So I want to jump on here and take a few minutes to talk through kind of state of the union update, where we are, what's happening, and what you can expect coming next from us in the world and opportunities to do something very beautiful together. I want to take a minute to acknowledge it might be, if you have been on this adventure with us for some time now, it might be crazy to realize that HighExistence is a teenager now, 13 years old. HighExistence started in the nascent age of online blogs, really becoming a kind of home for spiritual seekers, for modern day philosophers, and for people who were looking in earnest for answers to questions that were just not being discussed in modern culture. But boy, oh boy, how things grow and expand and evolve over a decade. A lot of things that we were speaking about early on that were fringe, undiscovered, unknown, are really now common culture. They've been integrated. They're more recognized by people. It's truly incredible what has happened, and really fortunate to see the shift, to see people coming alive, waking up, doing things together in community, both online and in person. But because of this, with HighExistence being a teenager, we've been doing a lot of soul searching, been doing a lot of deep discussion on what is our role in the landscape now. Who do we want to be, and how do we want our work to impact people? We as well as individuals, everyone who has contributed to HighExistence in various capacities over the years, we've grown a lot too. Some of us have become fathers, others are becoming leaders in their communities or in organizations, and really hungry. I think we are all collectively hungry to really start orienting around kind of legacy work. What is something that we want to create that will endure the test of time, that will create the people that we want to see in the world, and that will help us become the kind of people that we need to and that we want to be moving forward. We've covered a lot of ground. In those 10 years. We've done kind of soul entrepreneurship, business incubators. We have the 30 challenges to enlightenment. We've got thousands upon thousands of free articles, hours of podcasts with great thinkers and great minds. There's been a lot that has come out of the idea and the organization of HighExistence throughout the years. What we've been asking ourselves really boils down to, how do we amplify, how do we make the impact that we want to make more accessible to people? And at a level, how do we deliver it at a level that actually becomes the difference that makes a difference in someone's life? Right? How do we actually put people on a trajectory to accessing the greatest parts of themselves and releasing that freely and beautifully into the world? One of the things that has been really become very evident to me personally, and many of us collectively in the organization, is that and you may experience this in your own life. I'm sure you can point back to an experience or two, key pivotal moments in your life where just one experience can radically transform the trajectory of your life. Now, while it's really beautiful that in culture today, we are a lot more emotionally aware, a lot more trauma sensitive than we have been in the past, perhaps at any other point in human history. It illustrates, the recognition of trauma and the understanding of intense adverse experiences on an individual highlights at least the point, perhaps in a negative frame though, that one or an accumulation of a few powerful experiences can radically transform the personality of the individual, their orientation in life, the kind of limits and stories and narratives that they have about themselves in the world. On some hand, we recognize how powerful individual experience can be on transforming the rest of our lives. One of the things we've lost, though, or that isn't in public discourse as much, is there are positive, growth-oriented, awake and alert experiences that can have that same level of profound impact. It's not all trauma that can radically shift someone's life. There are the beautiful initiatory experiences that can radically transform the next several months, if not the next several decades of someone's life. You know, you might require 100, 200 exposures, articles, quotes, ideas to finally let the wisdom sink in and start letting that inform massive change in personality, in goals, and in actions in the world. Equally, you might only require one truly powerful experience that can make the same level of impact as those 100 articles, thousands of hours of podcasts. And this recognition of the truly transformative power of positive experience and initiation has really led us to kind of direct our focus and our efforts and our energies into Apotheosis. Apotheosis is our transformational plant medicine experiences. They are kind of modern rites of passage for people. And we have seen time and time again over hundreds of people who have come through these experiences with us over the last kind of 6 years that they've been incubating, that they have the potential to be truly transformative, to change the trajectory of people's lives, to create long-term, enduring, positive personality change. And they are just unbelievably meaningful for us as the team that runs them, and for the individuals who attend and what they get out of it and the relationships that are formed. We've had long-lasting friendships come out of Apotheosis. We've had a marriage come out of Apotheosis. There's some really incredible things that have been happening over there. And I think because of this level of impact, because of the level of sacredness that we approach the work with and that we see people approach the work with, it has just become such a desire for us to continue growing this, to really see it reach the people that it needs to reach, and to help create the people that we want to see living in the world. So to this end, I mean, we've spent months really digging into the best ideas we have, the greatest thinkers that we can find, really researching and understanding and holding ourselves to account of how we can run these experiences in a way that honors tradition, that honors the lineage that they come from, and that gives modern people the tools, the resources, and most importantly, the direct embodied experiences that they need to become who they want to be, to do the work that they want to do, and to have the relationships and community in their life that really sustain and promote human flourishing and wellness. So we've taken, this has led us on a really interesting adventure. It's led us to really overhauling the surrounding container that comes before and after a retreat. A lot of our work at Apotheosis has been informed by the desired outcomes, as much as it has been also desired by our own disagreements or noticings of the kind of incompleteness of other offerings, or the shadows that we see in some plant medicine experiences and psychedelic work more generally, and really holding ourselves to a standard that we can stand behind. All right, there are a lot of horror stories that you can find of unethical, inappropriate, unprofessional environments, and that's just not something that we can put out into the world. And so we want Apotheosis to stand as this beacon both of real transformative potential, that something better is possible, and that truly heroic experiences can and do radically change the trajectory of people's lives. And it's also a way of upholding the true, the good, and the beautiful that this work has given so many people throughout so much of human history. we've really landed on three core pillars that we think this work is exceptional at providing people, that we think most of us in various capacities, just having grown up through kind of the modern West confrontation with the psycho-spiritual forces at play in modern culture, the expectations and the regulations that exist. Three pillars that really put someone on the track to becoming the greatest version of themselves. The first is catharsis, of course, really creating the sacred space required to do human level healing. We all have the weight of accumulated baggage and emotional material and experiences from the past that, for better and for worse, stay present with us. They hold us down. They limit what we can do and what we think and how we show up in the world. So the first pillar, of course, is deep cathartic experiences, truly somatic, embodied level opportunities to simply learn from, integrate the wisdom of your past, but also let it go. The second big pillar that we've been focused on with HighExistence for so long, and that we have a really unique style towards, and also a great depth of experience in doing for people, is helping people clarify their own life purpose, the vision, the real tangible I don't want to say plan, but helping people crystallize a vision that empowers them for the future of their own lives and the future of humanity that is so desperately needed right now. This is something we've done for over a decade now, of really giving people permission and giving them the resources and the energetic containers that they need to take the time to sit with themselves and really ask who they are, what they want, and how they're going to bring that and incubate it into the world. So life, vision, and purpose is the second big pillar of Apotheosis that we've been putting together. We've sampled some of the best of kind of ancient techniques and practices, modern activities, and of course the energetic sanctity, the safety of the container for people to really allow their real authentic expression to come out and come through them. The third pillar that we've oriented around is really close to my heart, and it's something I really haven't seen come up a lot in psychedelic therapy protocols, in even other plant medicine retreats and work like that, which is an emphasis on community leadership, or alternatively, the desire and embracing the responsibility to become a pillar of your own community and really bring these experiences beyond yourself. Bring the wisdom and the healing and the wholeness and the vitality that are given to you from the plants and from the experiences and take them back into the world. It's very possible, and unfortunately sometimes very likely, that these experiences can become very, very self-indulgent for people, right? As much as there's a beautiful sentiment in a lot of the conscious and spiritual communities to be of greater service to the world, to care beyond yourself, to submit to the will of the universe, to be guided and to be of deep service. One of the traps and one of the pitfalls that we see all too often in people is that it just becomes a constant, the focus is constantly on you. You just need to heal one more. You just need a few more ceremonies. You just need to learn this thing. You just need to study this practice. Once you get your yoga certification, then you can do things for other people. The goalpost of when you actually take the lessons from this work and bring it and give it to people who may not be fortunate or understanding or just have the accessibility of it is always pushed further and further and further. It's always put off to another day. So we really want to emphasize, and we really do emphasize, as this third pillar of Apotheosis, is taking the wisdom of these experiences and bringing them back to friends, to family, to your work, to your community. We literally teach people the direct techniques, give them the support and the resources needed to build community around them. Isolation is one of the biggest problems that all of us are up against right now. We teach people how to build community, how to accept responsibility that comes with leadership, and how to find the authentic desire. And of course, your own unique style. Leadership doesn't have to be simply being the CEO of a great company, right? Leadership can be offering the first helping hand. It can be opening a difficult conversation with someone. That is as much embodied leadership as actually running an organization. So these pillars of deep catharsis, of crystal clear life vision and purpose, and bringing that back deeply and embedding it into community and becoming a leader, becoming someone that people can count on in those spaces. That is the focus of how Apotheosis is evolving, how our own thinking is evolving, and what we are uniquely suited and uniquely orienting ourselves around to really, really drive impact in a world, in a society, and in a culture that needs it right now. Perhaps more than ever before. It's very easy to get into catastrophic thinking these days and, imagine that this is somehow such an unbelievably unique point in history. There have always been critical moments throughout history. There's always doubt, there's always fear, there's always concern. What is perhaps unique now, at this point in time in history, over the other points of our inherited past, is that you have access and information to all of the world's challenge, local and international. And without being able to balance that, and certainly with the kind of rejection of the call, to use the hero's journey metaphor, that can become easily overwhelming, become extremely very challenging, become quickly very challenging. And so all of this really comes together in a profound, singular, initiatory experience that gives you the strength of spirit, strength of mind, strength of body, and the willingness, the voluntary undertaking of great responsibility to become a highly agentic person in the world, to become a man or woman of your word, to become someone who can be counted on, to become someone who has so much vitality, so much surplus within themselves that they actually have something true and pure to give to the world without any expectation of return. This is really becoming our focus. This is something we're unbelievably excited about. We've been pouring a lot of ourselves into the curriculum, into the protocols and the standards that we take people through, and really, really also becoming the people that we need to be to do this at a level that we want. Right? This has been it's interesting, creating and birthing these initiations for people has also equally been an unbelievable initiation for us. Really addressing shadows, really addressing hang-ups, really finding out where we're shying away from responsibility. But I'm extremely impressed, and I'm really proud of where the team has come, the conversations we've been willing to have, the things we've been willing to look at to really orient ourselves in this way, to really keep the focus on the impact for people, for you, for our community, and for the world itself. And at this point in time, at this kind of age of our organizational development, focusing more on direct experience with people, on community building, on ensuring the transformation of the individual into their biggest, their brightest, their boldest selves feels good. It feels true, it feels important, and it feels aligned. We're going to continue in various capacities, putting out articles, putting out podcasts, We've been writing a lot over at Substack, dropping little nuggets of kind of wisdom and insight in the plant medicine space, in the kind of adjacent spaces there. So we're still working hard on that, but we really anticipate the retreats and the community that forms around them to continue being a major focus, and something that just feels like it wants to be born through us at this time, and that it is something that is uniquely suited to help people become who they need to be at this time in history, to do absolutely beautiful work, to be the fathers and the husbands, the wives and the mothers, the leaders and the followers, and just the whole human being that we all need to be right now to really make it through this time in history and find, channel, and create together the more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible. So without going on too long, thank you so much if you've been with me for this little meander. That's a little bit on where HighExistence has been, what we're excited about, what we're building right now, and where we expect to go. I hope this message finds you doing very beautifully. I hope life has been hopefully a little challenging, but also very rewarding for you. It's been an incredible 13 years, and looking towards the future, I hope it's also an incredible next 13 years. So thank you all so much. I'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.